I've heard allegations made on websites, on blogs. They're anonymous. It seems that our detractors are jealous. Or I suppose if it were another company, the media would not give any credibility to the rants of a disgruntled employee. However, for some reason, we have been attacked by local media in Cleveland, and based on lies, absolute untruths, and it's deeply disturbing. It's very troubling because it's simply not true.
The school choice debate has been going on a long, long time in this country, and it dates all the way back to a period of Reconstruction. Being a history teacher, I know a lot about this. But recent days, we know there's a lot of tension between the Christian community in the United States and the Muslim community based off of 9/11, and we know a lot about that, and we've experienced a lot in this country. So those two debates kind of they go head to head, and so that's what has made some of these rumors strong, is that there's already an anti-Muslim bias in this country. If you turn on any Fox News, you notice that. And so I would say anybody that says that, they just need to come to our school and interact with our teachers, because all the teachers that I know are Muslim, I've never heard anything being promoted by them.
Anytime you do a good thing, there will be people who try to point out the negatives and to tear you down.
They don't know what they're talking about. They don't bother to get the facts. They just go on guesses and innuendo. And they don't come here and see what we really do. They just make assumptions.
I feel like anytime there's negative press, it's usually because a school is doing well and people kind of want to hold that school back. Like, a lot of people don't want to see charter schools doing well, and when they're doing as well as all the Horizon schools, and people do want to say negative things, maybe because their school's not doing so great or their educators aren't doing so great. So I think that when you hear negative things about the Turkish people that are running the schools, I think that it's just because, honestly, a lot of schools are envious of all the great things that we're doing, all the positive things that we're doing, not just in the school but in the community, all the kids we've sent to colleges. I think people are just envious of all the things that are going on here.
It's very unfair that they were saying things like that. It's very unfortunate, and it's based on lies. I think people are intimidated and they feel threatened by the success of Horizon Science Academy. They've been doing good for so long, and there's nothing else they can say except but to judge someone based on their culture, and I don't think that's right, because they genuinely do care. They're very honest and hardworking individuals, and they would never want anything bad to happen to something they work so hard for, because they genuinely care. They invest so much time. They invest so much efforts. I've seen them work so hard, and sometimes they have to spend time away from their family just to make sure that everything else is taken care of on a business standpoint, working late hours. And they do this not for themselves, but because they know how hard it is for us to make it here, and they're trying to help us.
I have never had a negative experience with any of the Turkish faculty. In fact, I spend a lot of time with them and their families, and we have dinner together. So I just don't listen to the negative stuff that people say.
Although these teachers are foreign, they're just like regular teachers. Their personal views about religion or politics don't come up in the classroom. The only time their personal views will never come up. Now, the discussion about religion or politics, that may come up as a classroom discussion, but what the teacher feels, that has never come up in my experience.
There are Turkish teachers, there are black teachers, there are Christian teachers, there are atheist teachers, and everyone keeps that to themselves because it's separation of church and state. And I think it's a shame that people think that just because it's different and they don't know that those ideas are being pushed. This is a regular school, and we're teaching regular subjects.
My grandparents came from Europe. They had nothing when they came. They decided that we were all going to get an education and be Americans. I mean, they were chastised for being European and Russian, and it didn't stop them from teaching us to do the right things, and most of us are teachers and principals. I think people need to look beyond a person's heritage and color and see what kind of contributions they can make to society.
I know that there was a news story last year on Channel 5 News, which to me, being a history teacher, and social studies teacher. To me, it just kind of seemed very Islamophobic, and it seemed very sensational, and it was very poor journalism. It was, splashed with all these images and trying to get people to, fear things, and I think the news are going to do what the news wants to do, but, there's no evidence of that at this school. I mean, it's 11 years I've been here, and it's great to work with people of different cultures. You learn so much.